right, guys. Hey, how is everybody tonight? And you guys will notice that tonight's video topic is a little different than usual in that most of our videos are preaching, teaching, whatnot. But, as Christians, as warriors for Christ, a lot of you know that we go out there and we preach in the street. We go preach different events. We try to save lives. We try to, just preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And in doing so, it comes with many, many costs in doing what we do. And let me tell you, this video has been 3 months in the making, if you will. We have been dying to get this out, but we had to wait until certain things were finished first before we did. And tonight's video is not going to be exhaustive on the situation, but it's going to be enough to let you know what happens when you take a stand and what people will do to try to stop you and try to silence you. And again, I know there's a lot of people that may come on this video, okay, that aren't necessarily Christian. There are a lot of people that may come on this video that don't agree with our stance on social issues. Believe me, I've seen it, I get it. But what you need to realize is that there are people in power, people in our government, who are abusing their power to try to hurt other people. Now, many of you know I am not a conspiracy theorist, okay? When I first started getting all this information, when all this stuff first started happening, I dismissed most of it as fantasy or delusions from people who lost their kids, who are, maybe didn't want to admit why they lost their kids. Because again, everybody has a story, right? So we started looking into it more, but then all of a sudden, it happened to me and my family. And we realized that this is a problem that's going on out there that a lot of people don't know about. And that's why you guys have noticed some of the stuff we put out there lately is what does it cost you? What have you sacrificed for the cause of Christ? What have you given up? What have you had to lay aside to work in ministry, if you will, or to have a ministry, or to preach the gospel without watering it down? Because believe me, when you're out there and you preach the gospel, I promise you that you are going to be attacked. And what most of you don't know is we don't talk about a lot of the attacks. We talk about some of them. We share a lot of the screenshots of the death threats, the hate speech. We put up videos on YouTube of Christians being assaulted. We're assaulted, or one of our brothers or sisters assaulted. We put those up, and it's all about exposing this, okay? That's what this is all about. It's all exposing that kind of stuff. But in doing so, you make enemies, okay? And there are a lot of people that hate you when you do that because they don't like their agenda. They don't like their evil. They don't like their whatever's going on. They don't like it exposed. They don't like their sin exposed. And they will do everything in their power to try to stop you. And what you guys don't know, a lot of you don't know, is that doing what we've done for the past 2 years has incurred the wrath of certain LGBT wannabe activists and whatnot. And I'm talking, some of these people are off the rails. I mean, you would think that these people would be in loony bins if you heard some of the stuff that they say. But anyway, I digress. So what they try to do is, and again, you guys remember, this is a group that calls themselves loving and tolerant, right? Love, 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 love. They're not out to hurt anybody. They just want to be equal. They just want this. They just want that. It's a lie, okay? Because if you disagree with them, you are targeted for destruction, whether it's your business, your family, your life, your friends, your livelihood, whatever. It doesn't matter. These people don't care, okay? They would do anything and everything in their power to silence you. Morality's out the window. Ethics are out the window. Truth is out the window. They don't care, okay? That's why if you look, they create pages about us. We've had people come out there and say things like, we've had people come out there and say that I created yearbook.com to, actually, I honestly don't even know why they said that. We've had people come out there and say, they say that we lie, Words for Christ lies. When everything that we say is 100% backed up. Everything. Screenshots of us. And of course, they dismiss it as fantasy and, you took it out of context, or, the ever so clever is, well, you're only using these things. You're using a limited group of people to say it's everybody. These are exceptions to the rule. And I'll often ask the question, well, how many exceptions to the rule do you need before it actually becomes a rule itself, But what you guys don't know is when we started getting involved in this ministry and started really getting public, we started getting public when we said, listen, our Facebook page is dedicated to Jesus Christ. We don't want sin. We don't want anybody, celebrating their sin on our page. And if you put a stupid little rainbow emoji thing on there when they had a couple years ago, we're going to ban you from our page. Our page is not a celebration of sin. Well, apparently the LGBT didn't like that. We didn't want to take their little rainbow mark, and they went ballistic on us, right? You can go back and see the videos from 2 years ago. I mean, I've never in my life received so many death threats, so many messages of hate, go kill yourself. I mean, they sent feces to my house. Somebody came to my house, was going to put a bullet in my head, as they said. I mean, it is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane what these people will do. And of course, they deny and deflect. There's people that don't know that, oh, well, that didn't really happen. He's just making it all up. All these Christians out there that have these pictures and these screenshots, they paid these people to do it. I'm sorry, but these people are wackos, okay? They have been given over. You want to see proof of being given over to a reprobate mind? That's it right there. But what you don't know is these people, they go further. They try to find where you work. They call your work. They try to get you fired because you don't support the LGBT, okay? What you don't know is, as a father of 6 children, these people have been calling Child Protective Service on me for years. And, nothing ever happens to it, of course. But last year in West Virginia, my ex-wife actually tried to kidnap my children. My ex-wife, whether she's bisexual anymore or not, I don't know. I do know that she was bisexual. She had sex with a man and a woman, and decided to tell our daughters about it. Now you know why we're divorced. So, and I only mention that because when she tried to kidnap my children, she lied to the police, and we have the report. Lied to the police, told the police that CPS in West Virginia told her to keep our children. Said that we were abusing our kids, psychology, of course, because there's no marks, no bruises, no nothing, and everything else. So CPS came out, talked to my kids, talked to us, and said, okay, so she lied to the police, everything else, and said, oh, kids are fine, kids are safe, kids are fine, boom, good. Did their jobs, everything's fine, right? Move on, no big deal. But what happens is you have LGBT people who hate us to the point where other states, other parts of the country, I mean, you're talking other parts of the country. Out in California, we're all the way on the East Coast here. They will call CPS, okay, and say, oh, I think that they're doing this to their children. They don't know us from Adams. And most of the time, CPS, from what I understand, what they told me is they filter those calls out. But what happens when something actually does happen to your child and you go to CPS yourself? Well, that actually happened to us. So here we moved to Tennessee in December. Came down here, we had prayed, God, where do you want us to go in West Virginia? And he said, well, Tennessee. And I said, so we moved down here. Sure enough, my one of my children was having some behavioral issues. So we couldn't figure out what was going on with her. We couldn't figure it out. So we went to a counselor and asked for help. Well, as it turned out, the counselor happened to be a pro-transgender person and went behind my back to counsel my daughter on things that had no business doing. So she found out who I was and what we were doing, and all of a sudden started putting up, from what I understand, a little bit more transgender stuff in her office. There was an accusation made against my ex-wife, and they called CPS in on it. They came to my house. We told them what happened, saying we've been trying to get help with this for years with this issue. Everybody kept saying, well, what happened in New Jersey. She lives in another state here. You guys are here. There's not much we can do. But we said, listen, if this happened, we need to know. So they said, no problem. We'll investigate it. We'll take care of it. Went to my daughter. My daughter didn't want to talk about it. So they sent a detective to my house. And I said, sure, come on in and talk to her. Again, didn't want to talk about it. No big deal, right? I mean, hey, you want to talk about stuff like that with your parents, right? No problem. So they asked if we could take her down for a forensic interview. I said, sure, absolutely. We need to get to the bottom of this. We get down there, take her there. They interview both then they asked to interview my little ones. And I said, why? This has nothing to do with my ex. What do you interview them for? So they said, oh, it's just going to help us with this and that and the other. And I felt really weird about it. And I said, I really don't feel comfortable with this. So the CPS worker, his name is Alex King. He told me that if I didn't do it, he was going to get a court order and compel me to do it. And I said, that's not really necessary, whatever. So I said, fine, go right ahead. Goes ahead, takes my 9-year-old and my 7-year-old and does, I guess, an interview with them. Calls me a few days later and says, hey, Rich, can you come down to the office here and talk to us? I said, sure. What's going on? But I knew in my spirit something was wrong. Something was going on. I said, this seems really odd. It seems like they're turning on me. So we get to the office there, and all of a sudden, him and his supervisor come in, and they said, well, we're going to get your daughter guardian ad litem. I said, what's that? And they said, well, I said, why? They said, well, because, we think your daughter might have some mental health issues, and, we want to get her help. I'm like, okay, if she needs help, then I'm all for it. They go, oh, you are? I said, absolutely. So we agreed to send her, we got some stuff done. We found out my daughter post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of trauma experienced from her mother. But I don't want to go harp on that too much. So anyway, we did all that, did all this, and they sent a therapist from Omni Health into my house named Kristen something or other. And she came in, she was here for about 4 hours. I have the entire audio recorded because we have cameras around my house because of what these people have done to me and my family. And, again, my kids downstairs in the playroom, we want to see them, and things like that. So we have the entire thing, and we still have it on audio, by the way. 4 hours, almost 4 hours is on audio. Thought she came here to help. We were really, at first, we're like, okay, great. And I have text messages from her as well. Everybody else, got back to me. So then all of a sudden, something happened, and we had a rough night one night. And we had called her and said, hey, what do we do? What do we do? And she said, oh, I'll call Alex in the morning. I said, okay. I said, but what do I do? She's like, just leave her, ignore, whatever. I said, okay. So the next day, I get a phone call from this Alex King guy, and he says, oh, well, we can't find a bed for your daughter. I said, what? He said, yeah, we can't find a bed. I mean, what do you mean find a bed for? What are you talking about? He said, we can't find for a place to go if you don't want her. I'm like, what do you mean I don't want her? Where are you getting this from? What are you talking about? I said, whatever. I said, what? I couldn't understand what he's saying. So we hang up the phone. I said, look, it's Friday, weekend, we'll talk, whatever. They call me back about 2 hours later with his supervisor. His supervisor gets on the phone and says, well, we're getting her. He says, listen, your ex-wife, her mother is ready to take custody of her. Will you give her to her? I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to give my daughter to the very woman she says is harming her. What are you, crazy? So she says, I'm getting a guardian ad litem for your daughter. And I said, why? She goes, well, that's the way it is. I hung up the phone on me. Now, remember, we don't know what's going on yet, okay? So I'm just giving you the backstory here a little bit. So I go to text this woman, Kristen, and I says, Kristen, they said they're getting a guardian ad litem. What's the deal here? Why are they doing this? She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just finding out, blah, blah, blah. So we go and say what's going on. We tell my daughter, listen, this is what they're doing, man. My daughter goes, well, I just said what I was supposed to say. I said, what? She goes, I just told them what I was supposed to tell them. And my wife goes, what do you mean by that? She goes, well, they told me, the counselor in school told me what to say. She told me, that you guys were abusing me. And we said, what? She goes, yeah, she said when you wanted to dye my hair that you were forcing me to do it, and that was abuse. And we're like, what? So we told the woman, Kristen, what happened. And I said, can you come to my house? And I want you to hear this from my daughter yourself. I want you, and I have the text messages, by the way, just in case anybody wants to know. We do have these text messages backed up. I will gladly show you real quick here. Because, we know we do have our stalker group that watch us, and some of them we believe are also those who called CPS. We have some evidence of that. And when we go through with the federal lawsuit, which we're actually going to be filing very shortly, we're going to be getting we're going to be subpoenaing some of those records, some of those phone calls that went into CPS to find out who it did. But for those of you who are wondering, these are the text messages I have with the woman. Oh, wow, you can't see the green because of this green screen. But this is it here. So what here is my messages to her, and that's her to me. And then you'll see the very last message was, did you tell my daughter that we were in a cult and that we're the ones mentally abusing her and forcing our beliefs on her? And then nothing, except a few days later, we need a meeting after I complained about this. So when she comes, so when she comes over to my house to talk to my daughter, she goes into one room where we don't have a camera, right? She's out here with us. We have her on video talking to us, telling us, whatever. Goes to talk to my daughter, comes back out, talks to us again. We have that on video. We thought everything was good until my daughter drops a bombshell this night and says, Dad, she started crying. We said, what's the matter? And she says, you told me I can trust Kristen, but what do I do if you said you guys trust her, and what do you do? So we said, well, we trust the person who we have more reason to believe. And that's when she hits us with it. She said that I remind her of her daughter who she thinks is bisexual, and that Dad reminds her of her husband because he's a pro-Trump conservative whatever. And of course, I'm doubting it at first, and I'm looking. So we went and looked and found out, sure enough, her daughter had the same hair color as mine and dyed and all that stuff. And her boyfriend and her husband actually was a pro-Trump conservative who was not LGBT friendly. So because of her bias, she tried telling my daughter, she says, listen, I think you're bisexual because you remind me of my daughter, and that your dad is in a cult, and that if you stay here, you're going to die. You're going to die. This is what my daughter's telling me she was told, that she's not going to survive here for the next 2.5 years, that, we're forcing our beliefs on her, that, all this. And that's the thing about it, too, because my daughter tell you, we don't force anything on anybody. We preach, we share, we have rules in our house. We don't let them listen to, the secular music with the swearing and the cussing and the sex talk and things and the drugs and all this. We don't let them watch movies like that. Hey, that's the rules of my house. That's not forcing anything. That's just, I want my kids to grow up wholesome, not like what these 15, 16-year-olds out there doing nowadays. So we find that out. I text her that message, nothing. My daughter gives not only that too, but my daughter gave a written statement stating that she was told what to say to CPS. And it wasn't even that bad, to be honest, a lot of it. Anyway, so we find out. So she gave a written note, and this written note of my daughter's, this handwritten note that she signed, just seems to disappear all the time. Just disappears. Nobody seems to have it. Luckily, I have copies of that as well. So what happens next is I get an email from a woman named Stephanie, I can't remember, Stewart, guardian ad litem, say, hey, I've been appointed guardian of your daughter, and I said, do you have a court order? And she says, well, no, I have an appointment order. I said, do you have a court order? I said, I want to see a court order. I didn't hear from her for a few days. Then I get an email back saying, hey, I want you to bring your daughter down here. And I said, oh, I actually agreed to it at first. But then I thought about it more and more. I'm like, something's not right here. So I called and I hired an attorney named Connie Reguli, who stole my money, by the way. I paid her thousands of dollars and she took my money and hasn't given it back yet. She tells me, listen, they can't do anything without a court order. She has an appointment order, but there's no court order compelling you to do anything, because what happened was, okay, and I know I'm going fast here, but I'm trying to get this out to you. What happened was, I called the supervisor's supervisor and I let her know what happened, because as we had found out, the people that did this were pro-LGBT who hated, I don't know if they hate or not, that's a strong word, but we know that they are Ocasio-Cortez fans and everything else. They're liberals and everything else. They know who I am and what we do. As it turns out, their petition they tried to file for a guardian ad litem was full of lies and actually was used from notes from my ex-wife in West Virginia. So they took allegations made in another state that were deemed unfounded from a woman who tried to kidnap my children, use them in this state, violating res judicata, in order to make a petition to remove my daughter, or not remove, but to compel me to do something. So their supervisor quickly pulled that petition from the docket. So there was no court order. So if I says to the guardian ad litem, I says, you know what? I'm not bringing my kids to you unless you give me a court order. I said, my daughter's going for counseling, whatever. We're done. We'll let you know what happens. Sure enough, the next day, she files an ex parte order to remove my children. Well, two of them, I should say. Without a court order showing that she's a guardian ad litem. She had a petition order, not a court order. But you see, these people, they don't care about the law. They don't care, right? So I went down to the courthouse immediately right afterwards, and I said, I demand a hearing right now. This is bull. This is not right. You're not going to do this. You're not going to go with this. You're not going to have people sitting there, whatever, because I'm a Christian, because I preach against the LGBT, because I preach against drag queen story hour. This is not going to fly, okay? Because we have all the documentation. Well, this all came down to a religious bias against me and my family because of what we do. It came down. So we go to court the next day. They give me my one daughter back. They said, here you go. But they kept my oldest daughter. Now, my oldest daughter, we found out, like I said, she had post-traumatic stress disorder from whatever happened with her mom. And psychologists, counselors, doctors, all this stuff had said, you know what? Nothing happened with us. Nothing. Like literally nothing. The guardian ad litem tried stacking the deck against us even more, saying, wait a second, you got to see these notes from these people. The one at school that tried to coerce my daughter, you need to see these notes. And the doctor looked at the notes and said, and this is a doctor that works for the state, by the way. He looked at all these notes and still said the same thing. No. No, they didn't do anything wrong. So it didn't work in her favor. Then all of a sudden, the foster care system got involved and started meeting my family and said, wow, the foster mother and all this stuff. No, it all came down to religion. Religion. They're biased against me. And this almost stopped me from doing this for a while, because it was. That was the weekend I went to Houston, Texas to preach against drag queen story there. And I went down, and I wasn't going to go. I said, how can I go with this going on? And that's when the Lord had told me, he says, you can't let this stop you. You have to keep going. If you let this stop you, they're just going to do it again and again and again. So I kept going. I kept preaching, I kept going. And you guys had no idea this was going on. The fight. We had the governor's office made an inquiry. Senator Sutherland made an inquiry. Representative Hill made inquiries. How this could happen, because the one thing that CPS did not do was interview me or my wife. They just did it because they didn't like what we stand for. They didn't even bother interviewing us. They said we were psychologically abusing my daughter. They couldn't really give any specific, some of the stuff, it was out there. But didn't even interview us. Didn't even talk to me and my wife about any of this. So they got rid of Alex King and his supervisor and brought in another person to look at it, who came to my house and sat down for about 3 hours, looked at all. We have papers this thick. I got some of them right here. From West Virginia, from my divorce, from the hospitals that we had to go to with my daughter, to try to get help when she was freaking out. So she's like, wow, if they had only interviewed you, this wouldn't have happened. I said, oh yes, we really we know. No interview, nothing. They literally did this because of who we are. And it didn't stop us. We kept going. And here's the thing. While they were in the care, my daughter tried hurting herself. They put her in a residential treatment center where she was being physically harmed. Look, they did what they could as soon as they found out, and they knew who we were and everything else. They moved her and things like that. So they did okay in making sure my daughter was safe. But like I said, and by the way, I know I could tell you this story, and you guys may not believe me, and that's okay, but it has to be told, because they actually took my, and the CPS stuff is done. Everything is closed and unsubstantiated. Everything. My life has been ripped apart for 3 months. These people dug into everything and came up with nothing. Nothing. Everything is closed and dismissed and sealed now. Sealed. Restricted. Okay, to the point where if anybody tries this again, that it only goes to one of two people who know what the story is now, who know what's going on, so that this way it doesn't go any further. But my point on this is these people work for the government, and they use their power to try to stop us from doing what we do in hopes that we would back down, because after all, this is your children you're talking about here, right? Nobody wants to lose their children. I certainly didn't want to. I love my kids more than anything else in this world. But I kept going. And that's why I said, what have you sacrificed for the cause for Christ? Because I lost my daughter for 3 months. 3 months for doing what we do in this platform here. 3 months without my daughter, who's never been away from me for more than a couple nights in her life. 3 months. Because a government worker decided, you know what? We're going to teach him a lesson. We're going to make an example to him. When Liberty Counsel tells me, Rich, they are using you to make an example out of you because of what you stand for. He said to me, Richard Mass told me specifically, it took me 30 seconds to figure out who you were. Believe me, this is not a conspiracy what they're doing. They are doing this to take you down because they don't like what you're doing. 3 months without my daughter. Okay? Up in a place like that when I'm a minister of the gospel. Okay? Because a bunch of sick people want to try to call CPS and then get a liberal pro-LGBT person there. But we got him now. We've got him hook, line, and sinker. We got the documentation. We got text messages. You guys, we have paper this thick, and we are filing a federal lawsuit. I kid you not. Against the whole system. Okay? Because this should have never happened. And look, I'm not saying that there aren't some children that do need to be pulled from homes, because I've heard stories about, like one particular story about a woman who was holding her baby while cooking meth. That child probably shouldn't be in that home. But to use your power because you don't agree with my stance on social issues to try to remove my child because you want to try to put me under boot, not going to happen. And the lesson from all this, there is nothing that these people could do to me that's ever going to stop me after that. Nothing. And that's the thing you guys, people don't understand about this agenda. Because these people don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about you. They don't care about they care about nothing other than their agenda. That's all they care about. They don't care who it hurts. They don't care what they have to do. And that's you know, and that's what happened. So you guys that kept telling me about 3 months, you know, child trafficking, and they were. Believe me, it's all about money. It's all about trying to push an agenda. Okay, it's absolutely true. But you know, to be honest with you, I don't expect any different from the reprobates. But what I expect differently, and this part's going to make a lot of people upset, but I really don't care, is there were a handful of people that knew that this was going on. My friends down in Mississippi there, the Mississippi Street Preachers, Dale Walker, J.T. Olson, Sherman Kellos, okay, Ryan and Kelly Chapman, the people that we know very well, they knew this was going on. Robin Craven, they knew. Do you know what the worst part about this is? Is when I was in Houston, you know, Joe and Luann Nicosia, they know. Actually, the doctors didn't lie. The doctor actually told the truth, which was surprising because I was freaked out that he wasn't. He actually told the truth. But we had so much documentation, and they couldn't do it anyway. I mean, we literally had. I mean, it's at the point now, you guys, where they're literally throwing each other under the bus. Well, remember, it's that department, not us. We didn't do it. They did it. They're literally throwing each other under the bus. And we have reason to believe, because certain people have run their mouths online, we have reason to believe that we know who the culprits were that helped call in these things too, and we're going to be getting those. But I'm not going to say too much about that because we're hoping we can get those records. But anyway, what was I saying? So Dale Walker I talked to almost every day. Justin I talked to almost every day. Joe and Luann I talked to almost every day. Robin, Kelly, you know, these guys, hey, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? But you know what's really sad? Not one of those guys in Mississippi, not one, called to ask me, hey, brother, how you doing? How's your daughter? Everything okay? Not a word from those guys. Nothing. The ones who stood shoulder to shoulder with me at all these drag conventions across the country, who stood there that weekend, knew what happened, couldn't even be bothered to call me to say, hey, Rich, how you doing, brother? Everything okay? Knowing that my daughter was taken from me, knowing this, they saw me that weekend. I was a mess, right? I was anxious. I mean, you guys will get to see that, you know, but I was a mess. A complete and utter mess when they did this. And not one of them, my brothers in Christ, not one of them could bother to call me to see how I was doing. But you didn't fight them. I feel bad for your kids being. Oh, we fought them. Believe me, we fought them. I had that guardian ad litem shaking in court. We fought them. And that's why I got my daughter back in such a short amount of time. It takes most people years. It took me less than 3 months to get her back. And to get everything dismissed, gone, done, all done. In less than just a couple of days shy of 3 months. Done. Because we did fight them. Because we didn't just sit back and let them do what they do. We didn't just say, okay, whatever. I knew what they were doing. The governor knows what they're doing. Our state lawmakers knew what they're doing. That's why they got involved and sent inquiries in there. Okay? But I said, you know, the worst part about it is my brothers and sisters in Christ, how many of them didn't call me? You know, that's why I did that video about, you know, we're supposed to be the church. When one of us hurts, we should all be hurting. That's what the Bible says. And, you know, people in church sometimes don't show up and you don't call. I mean, how could you sit there and say somebody's your brother in Christ knowing they're going through the worst thing that they've ever gone through their entire life? And how do you not even bother to see how somebody's doing? How do you call yourself a brother in Christ and not even bother to say, hey? Because I don't know about you, but when somebody tries to take your kid, and we fought every day. Believe me, my phone bill is crazy from the phone calls. The governor, Dale Walker getting involved. You know, I mean, all these things here. But my own brothers in Christ, the ones who stood shoulder to shoulder with me, couldn't even bother to call to say, how are you? And we wonder why the church isn't, why these people feel that they have the authority, why they think that they can do the things that they do. It's because of things like that, because we can't even stand shoulder to shoulder when one of us is going through. And look, part of being a Christian is we're going to go through things. The world hates us. They're going to attack us. I'm not surprised by it. It's still upsetting. It's still terrible. Believe me, it was horrible going through it every day. But we had to keep going. We had to endure. We had to persevere through it. Because now they can never do this to me again. They can never use my children against me. So we will continue to move forward. We have video evidence of those people at the drag queen stories on video saying we're going to call CPS. And anybody that we find out that did during all this is going to be in a lot of trouble. And it's all pro-LGBT people that were responsible for this. Do you understand? This isn't just a, well, you know, it's a them. No, these people are stacking the decks. They're going to government. They're trying to stack the deck in local governments and ordinances here to try, right? To try to do these things. And we're letting it happen. How long is it going to be before they take your kids and there is no getting them back when they pass things like the Equality Act or things criminalizing Christians for teaching Christianity to their children? How long is it going to be before they do that? And it's because we're so distracted by stupid things like it's KJV and NIV and you know this, that, the other. We're going to argue and fight with each other and break fellowship over what Bible translations we read. Prayer warrior, message me. I know my alienation was 3 months, believe me, but that's because we fought. We didn't get, you know, I'll help anybody. And that's my message tonight. If you're going through this, we know kind of what to do now, as long as it's a legit reason that your child wasn't taken away. Because I'm not going to pretend like every single kid that's removed from a home shouldn't have been removed. There are cases that I know of where children should have been removed, but not all. I do get the point, but message me, okay? We're believe me, we're accessible. I'm not one of these guys that comes on YouTube and Facebook and doesn't answer back messages. We do, okay? We want to help. We take these experiences and we want to use them to help everybody else, because believe me, when you start punching holes in, when you stand firm and don't back down to these people, these evil, evil people, we will get the victory. Especially when you know you've done nothing wrong. Because you got to look at who it is that's doing this. It's these people out there. But you know what? It backfired another way. Because my daughter, you know, she was going to public school in West Virginia, and they're very, very gay up there, you know. And she was feeling a little sympathetic because she kept hearing that love is love, we just want to whatever, right? She was starting to feel a little bit sympathetic. Not anymore. Not anymore. She's absolutely disgusted by it now. She has no sympathy for them anymore. I can tell you that now. So that backfired on them as well. Because she knows who's behind this. She heard them. She's come to us and told us. As a matter of fact, I'll call her right now if you want to hear just a real quick snippet. Amanda, send Ariane up here. Just a little quick snippet of what they told her, why they did this. Okay? Why they told her what they did. Because of your dad's religion. Because they want to give you a break from your dad for a little while. That's what they said. Completely unconstitutional, completely illegal. But they wanted to make an example out of me because we have a big platform. Because apparently I've been told I have the biggest mouth in Tennessee against same-sex marriage. I'm not really sure how that happens, since I've only been here for 6 months at this point. But apparently we do. It's, you know. And I know, we're gonna have the our LGBT freak show talking about whatever, because facts, they care more about their feelings than facts. But what CPS couldn't understand was how anybody outside knew about anything, because it's supposed to be sealed, right? But there were certain elements out there that knew something was going on and talked about it, and we have screenshots that and sent it to CPS, and they're investigating to find out how those people knew as well. It seems like somebody in CPS leaked some information to LGBT activists or wannabe activists on the outside, which makes it completely illegal. But again, they don't care. And I'm going to show you my daughter Ariana. Remember, she doesn't like being on camera too much, okay? She's a little introverted. But I want you people to see for yourself. My daughter is here, and I'm just gonna tell her. Just real quick. No, I want you to tell them real quick what you were told, why they did what they did with you. I know, but I want you to tell them yourself. I want them to see you here with me, that you're here now. There's people on here that have had their kids taken away. I know you don't like it, but what? Here, just the camera's right here. It's on the computer. It's right there.
Okay.
Well, hold on. I can't see you. Julie, you guys stay where Julie is. This is my daughter Ariana. Ariana, tell them, what did they tell you when they first took you? What was the reason? You want me to repeat it and you'll just acknowledge it?
I don't remember.
It's your dad's religion. They wanted to give you a break from your dad.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was like a really long time.
It's only been 3 months.
No, I don't remember.
All right, you don't have to stand on camera. Sorry.
Bye.
And Anna, we only did this so people know. Hold on. One of the kids pulled the microphone out. Hold on.
I'll sit right here.
No, hold on. Daddy's got to fix this. The microphone out. Hold on. Not really sure.
Hi, everybody.
Can you guys hear me? Because I can no longer hear. Can you guys still hear me?
Are they all saying yeah?
What?
Are they all saying yeah? I'm still coming on.
Hold on. I can't hear anymore. You guys did something. Pulled something when you guys jumped on my lap. Okay, so it's my headphones.
Yeah, it's with your headphones.
Yeah, something happened. My headphones. What happened here? My headphones.
Yeah. Maybe you need to plug it?
I don't know, honey. Hold on, guys. Something happened to my headphones. I can't hear.
Something happened to my dad's headphones.
No. What the heck happened here?
I don't know what. I think.
No. No. I don't know what happened. I can't hear anymore. So you guys can hear me, but I can't hear you.
There we go.
I'm not sure what they did. So anyway, my daughter's probably mad at me now for. I did. I don't know what. Maybe they pulled it out of here.
Can I have your headphones?
I don't know. They're not working. I don't know what you guys did.
I just want to wear your headphones.
Let me see if that works. No.
Hi.
Does that work? Did it help? No. Huh. No. I don't know what you guys did.
I don't know either. Can I wear your headphones?
I can't hear it. They can hear you.
And wear your headphones. Daddy,
But I
want to
can't
wear
hear
your
them.
headphones.
What?
I want to wear your headphones.
No, Lily and Noel are not camera shy. Yeah, I don't know what they did. It could be some of the computer too. I mean, I don't know. There's some weird settings when it comes to sound. Let's see. Social cross apps. You got an email. Is now in review. Okay. So at the end of the day, you guys, listen. I want you to understand something.
Daddy, can I wear your headphones?
People are going to come at us. They're going to attack us. And they're going to do everything. These people, believe me, they are evil to the core. They don't care. I mean, come on. Think about it. Right? What are they doing? They'll do anything in their power to stop you. They'll do everything in their power to try to silence your voice. They don't care. They don't care about anybody but their agenda. Right? They are absolutely vile and evil people. Sorry. They are. And everyone wants to talk about how it's unloving and un-Christ-like to fight back and all these things here. Man, this is really bugging me. I can't get these headphones to work. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. It's driving me crazy and driving me nuts. I just don't know what they hit or what they did. They pulled something here or hit something on my computer. I'm not sure. But yes, we do have lawyers ready. We already have one. Oh, wow. National Straight Pride Coalition to combat drug store and other homosexual. Hey, look at that. DC director of the National Straight Pride Coalition. Hey, look at that. But I want you to know something, you guys. No matter what goes on, no matter what Satan throws at you, keep pushing forward. And don't let anything or anyone stop you. You have to be willing to lose everything for Christ. You have to be, I have backup headphones over there. You have to be willing to lose everything, to give up everything for Christ. And as much as it hurts, I know some people are not going to say, oh, whatever. We don't have a choice. Because Jesus comes first. And if we stand in him, if we stand firm in him, then we have the victory. And it's just a matter of time as when the victory actually happens. We're going to continue fighting against drag concern because let me tell you something, you guys. What you don't know, too, is Pride Month has been very fruitful for us in that 2 libraries have removed their LGBT displays. And, of course, one library is saying, well, it was just time to remove it. Right. Coincidentally, after we emailed them and threatened to come down there and preach out in front of the library and send it to the state about how they're pushing sexual books on kids. Okay. We got involved in Lafayette, Louisiana when they were trying to pass this thing, and we had an email campaign going and emailed the whatever down there and stopped them from labeling Lafayette as a gay city. We got involved in that. We helped those guys down there with that. So this has been pretty fruitful for us as Christians. And now I get to go on Wednesday with Peter LaBarbera and Dale Walker, and they have an event to, what is it called? The exact event. Rally Against Obergefell and the Equality Act. And I am going to be a guest speaker at the Supreme Court, on the steps or outside the Supreme Court for this event. Myself and Dale Walker are going to be guest speakers there as a result of this. You see, there's a handful of people that knew what happened with my daughter and my family. There's a lot of people know because we wanted people to understand. We wanted people to see documentation so that we can't be accused of lying. We can't be accused of, making things up, whatever. We made sure we documented video and recorded every possible thing we could. And we had certain people come, certain people we talk to, certain people we know that we would see and hear so that we have backup on all of this. The governor's office is involved. Senators sent a really nice long email about how this happened to my family. So there is an investigation that's going to be taking place as a result of it. I know that CPS themselves, because the supervisor, Alicia, it was actually she was actually really cool to work with. She apologized profusely to me. And not that that makes it any better, but she herself didn't do it. Okay? She apologized profusely to me. Profusely. Over this. And actually she herself couldn't understand how her workers were able to do this. And of course they need more training. And I get that, you got to stand behind your workers and whatnot, but no. Nope. So keep pushing forward, believe me. If I could keep doing this and my daughter was in a place like that for 3 months, and granted, I understand a lot of people got, but years, and my heart goes out to you. And I will fight with you and do everything I've learned, everything I can in my power to help you. If something like this happens to you, I will use every resource I have to help you. I will use every connection we've made to help you. Everything we can do to help you. So it doesn't have to take years for you either. Because let's be honest, the only reason it didn't take years for me is because we have a large platform, because I'm a well-known figure for not backing down. Matter of fact, Dale Walker, when he first heard about this, the very, very first thing that he did, the very first thing he said to me was, oh man, they have no idea who they did this to, do they? And you got to remember, Dale had only met me about a month before. And we are going through with this. Make no mistake about it. And I know I've been threatened with defamation per se, but you can only you can only sue somebody for defamation per se if what you say isn't true. Okay? Everything we said and say is 100% true. Okay? Everything. We've had people that involved in this say, well, if you go public with this and you say, well, just remember, defamation per se, I'm like, yeah, that only works if it's not true. They tried to intimidate me and my family. They came, And I got to tell you, the second worker they brought in too, I mean, she called me, every so often and say, hey, how's your daughter? And she didn't have to do that. She called me and said, hey, how's your daughter doing? Is she okay? Again, this is the worker that came in after. The people that started this were the ones that were at fault, not the people that came in after. And she didn't have to do that. But she did anyway. It's sad when there's somebody in the secular point who doesn't even agree with my stance is actually more concerned with my family than those who call themselves brother and sister. And believe me, make no mistake about it. It's a sad, sad day when your brothers and sisters can't even call you to help support you or talk to you or just to say, hey, Rich, hey, Amanda, how you guys doing? Can we pray with you? Can we pray for you? Not a word. Nothing. Nothing. And that's probably the saddest fact out of all of this is my brothers and sisters in Christ. I mean, ones that I really did think I was close with. Nothing. Nothing. What kind of church are we? If one of our own is going through something terrible, we can't even pick up the phone or send a text message to say, hey, how's it going? Everything okay? Because, yeah, we do these videos, and when we come on here, we're strong, and we come on here and we preach the truth, and we're unapologetic about it. You guys see our live streams, and you're right, we're very bold, we're very whatever. But, you only get, on video, remember, you only see a part of our life. You don't get to see all the intricacies and all the stuff that we deal with outside of social media. You don't see all the hate and the attacks that come our way. Believe me, we get it a lot. I have a guy literally who calls himself a Christian who emailed me incessantly about sin, prideful arrogance, about sin, just being a jerk. So we get it from our own as much as we get it from the sinners. But believe me, this isn't something my wife even wanted me to really do. I mean, we had to tell the story. We had to. Because again, you guys need to know what's going on. And we didn't say everything, of course, because there are some things we have to keep for lawyers and stuff like that. And, you don't want to give everything away. But I wanted you guys to know what we were going through for the last 3 months and how we didn't let it stop us and how we just kept moving forward and how the LGBT community and their supporters do this kind of stuff. They talk about love. They talk about equality. They just want whatever. No, they want total and utter submission. They will not accept anything less. And they will do everything in their power to hurt you and your family. They will lie. They will cheat. They will steal. They will do anything and everything to hurt you. Trust me. They'll call you a liar because they want to discredit you. Remember, people that don't like their lies being exposed, people that don't like their evil being exposed, people that don't like their agenda being exposed will often try to discredit the messenger. Hasn't worked thus far because in order to be a liar, you have to tell lies. Everything that we say, we back up 100%. Now, yeah, sometimes we'll post an article that maybe wasn't thoroughly vetted enough, but we'll quickly pull it down once we're aware. Okay? But these people, they will stop at nothing, and we cannot let them do this anymore. We can't. Just in the past week, you guys may not know this, but in Nashville, huge victory for free speech when a preacher was arrested. I don't know if he was arrested or not, but I know the police down there tried stopping him from preaching at an LGBT parade. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned that and said, no, he absolutely has a right. Huge win. Christians, when we fight back, we win. We don't just lie down, we win. Because we have God on our side. Because we have what's right on our side. Because we tell the truth, we don't lie. And when you're willing to stand up for what's right, when you're willing to fight these battles with the help and the guidance of the Holy Spirit, nothing can stop us. Nothing. And I will do everything in my power to see that an agency like CPS is either completely and utterly dismantled, and I will use every single connection that we've made. I will use the power of this social media platform to further expose the evil of this organization. Because let's be honest, if a child is being abused, who should investigate it is the police, not some liberal shill agency who's completely biased. The police should be the ones. If the police can investigate domestic violence, the police can investigate child abuse. It's not that difficult to say. Talk to a kid. If the kid is brutally on, it's pretty easy. But I will do everything in my power to make sure that no other child in this state is ever harmed by a government agency run by a bunch of LGBT supporting reprobates. They will never be allowed to harm another child again. And I hope that Governor Lee, I hope that Senator Sedlin, and I hope that Representative Hill are watching this video tonight. I know they're on my Facebook. I hope you're watching this video. Not that you guys, they already know anyway, but this video, because this is going out there wide. This is going out there to our lawyers, and the lawyers already know. We're having a press conference in August with AFA, a press conference with Daya Walker and a couple of the people from Nashville, senators, lawmakers coming down. We're going to have a press conference here locally because this is not the end. Just because my daughter's home doesn't mean I give up. What they did to me and my family was wrong. It was illegal, and I will not let it stand, ever. These people, just because they don't agree with what I do, they don't like that I preach against Dracula's her, too bad. I'm still going to do it. You don't like me exposing the evils and the truth about the LGBT agenda? Too bad. I'm going to keep doing it. And nothing you say, nothing you do will ever stop me. And all you've done was help strengthen my resolve. All they've done was strengthen the resolve of my children, my daughter. Okay? My daughter's resolve is now strengthened. And my daughter will be fine. My daughter will grow up and be happy and healthy. She'll be a productive in her society, and I guarantee you my daughter will fight this just as vehemently as my wife and myself are fighting this. You will hear about this. Is not the end just because she's home. Anybody that knows me knows we're not going to let this go. These people are evil, and we're going to expose all of it. And we'll take down the whole thing if we have to. The contractors from Omni Health, the contractors at Frontier Health that did this, that were part of this, all of it. Because it needs to be exposed, because these people work together. The only people that were honest in this were the supervisor, Alicia, the foster care worker, the woman, the second investigator that came in, and the psychologist, which I got to tell you the truth, I am completely surprised that the psychologist that's contrary to the state actually was on our side. My wife will tell you, I was completely and utterly surprised. So let this video be an encouragement to those of you going through this. If CPS or a government agency has come and infringe on your rights, I don't care if it's CPS, I don't care if it's the police, whoever it is infringing your rights, message us. We can help you, and we will help you. You can message me, you can message my wife, you can message us on Facebook, through here, whatever. We will help any and everybody fight this evil, because that is what Christians do. I will not abandon my brothers and my sisters who are going through some of the worst things ever in their lives. I will pray with you. I will stand with you, and I will be here for you. I will not leave you hanging by yourself. So thank you guys for listening to me tonight. I appreciate it. Again, you guys will keep you updated as things progress. When the federal cases are actually filed, we'll let you guys know when the press conference is. We'll stream that live as well. You guys will be informed, but I want to let you know because again, I want this to be an encouraging video. I don't want it to be seen as a negative. I want it to be an encouragement to you. That when you stand with God, that tests will come, trials will come, tribulations will happen. But we, in the end, will be successful. We will win. We will win this. And that goes for all Christians. You just cannot give up. No matter what you're facing, no matter how bad things look, no matter how depressing or down you may get, God has not given us a spirit of fear. God has given us a spirit of boldness and truth, and we need to stand in that and walk in that. And remember that we have victory already because Jesus secured our victory on the cross 2,000 years ago. It's only because of him that we can win this fight. Thank you, Rock Bear. It's only because of him that we can do this. Believe me, if it weren't for Christ, I would have never been able to get through this last 3 months. I would never have been able to get through and preach and continue preaching that we did without Christ's help. Without the Holy Spirit in there. Without the Holy Spirit strengthening me and guiding me and helping me. So all the glory for all of this goes to God. All of it, because my strength is not my strength, but his, the strength that he gave me. The endurance is because of him giving me the endurance. It's all because of God, not because of me. None of the endurance was any part of me at all. I was simply obedient. When God said, don't let this stop you, I didn't. I listened. So let this be an encouragement to you. Let this be an encouragement that even when your children, when they come after your children, as long as you stand up and do the right thing, as long as you stand up and fight, we will have victory. And my promise to each and every one of you watching this video, whether you're watching YouTube, any of the YouTube channels, or any of the Facebook pages, or any of the Facebook groups where these things get syndicated to, if you're going through something like this, I don't care what you're going through your life, whether it's drugs, whether it's the loss of your children, whether it's the loss of a spouse, whatever it is, I want you to know that in a minute, as a ministry, Warriors for Christ will be here if you need us. We have people that will pray with you, that will talk with you. We will not abandon you. We will not say, oh, you know what? That's really sad. I'll pray for you and then leave you on your own. Won't happen. Frankie, if your girlfriend's an atheist, supports LGBT, and you don't, I know this is rough, and I don't want you to get mad if you're saying this. You have to break up with her. You cannot be unequally yoked. You have to break up with her. God will give you so much better. And when you're equally yoked with somebody else, believe me, when you're with that person and you're equally yoked together and you're both loving God together, it's so much better than if you're with somebody who hates God and you love God. It creates nothing but problems. I've seen it happen a million times. But again, at the end of the day, I want you to message me if you're going through it. I don't care what it is. I personally will message you back. I will pray with you. Believe me, we take phone calls all the time. We'll do everything we can. And anybody, if you're going through this, you want to help, message me. Tell me what state you're in, message me, email me. I'll give you my email address here. It's pastor@wfcchurch.org. I'm going to put it here in the chat. If somebody can write it on the YouTube for me, who is ever watching YouTube videos. I can't watch all the channels at the same time, but put my email address out there, and we will get you help. We will, do what we can. But we will not abandon you and let you go. Just because we're social media personalities, if you will, does not mean that we think high and mighty of ourselves, that we're too busy, or we're too much, or we're too big to talk to anybody. That's not what the church is about. The church is a family. And that's what we are, and that's what we're going to be for all of you. Yeah, we have well, it's not even that. What happens is with 567,000 subs, what YouTube has done was they suppress and they remove videos like this off the trending section, is what they do, so that people don't come. And what they did was they changed the way notifications go out. So they have two notifications. They have some, you'll get some, and they have another one you have to click to get all notifications. It's kind of like what Facebook does to try to limit the reach of certain individuals and certain people. That's what they do. But it's to be expected, and again, it's just one of those things here. We went up against Facebook, and look, Facebook has throttled us to the point where, because LGBT, look, Facebook is nothing more than pedophile playground, right? That's what it is, okay? Because they'll do anything and everything, they'll bend over backwards for the LGBT. But if you're a Christian conservative, they will throw you under the bus. They don't care. They hate you because they're a liberal shill company. Most of their workers are a bunch of liberals anyway, okay? And that's just the truth. We have Social Cross, and I just got the email here. It looks like it's iOS App Store Connect. The status of your app has changed to pending developer release. Oh. To make this version available in the App Store, go to your app's platform version page in My Apps and click Make App Available. So as of tonight, it looks like Social Cross will be available on Apple devices. The chat app is in review. Okay. So it looks like Social Cross will be available tonight at Apple, either tonight or tomorrow morning, as soon as we publish it. As soon as you click publish, I'll do that as soon as I get this video. So there it is. We have our own. We don't need, yes, I know it's buggy, you guys. It's buggy, but it's a social media platform for Christians. For anybody who's tired of being censored for telling the truth. For being censored. And yes, will I censor people that condone sin? Absolutely, I will. But I'm not a neutral platform. I'm a Christian platform. If you're tired of Facebook and you want to share in a Christian environment your pictures without a bunch of pedophiles and a bunch of, LGBT, not even that, but atheists, hateful atheists, socialcross.org. We're still working on it. We're still building it out. We have ChristianJournal.net. Look, we exposed a pedophile, a homosexual activist that was pushing for pedophilia yesterday in a blog post. We did an article on that. Amanda's looking to do another article on the Snapchat Love Has No Age thing. So we're going to start working more and more on Christian Journal as well. It's ChristianJournal.net, you guys. We have the apps. Both of them are already in the Play Store. They need to be updated a little bit, but we'll work on that. But we're doing everything we can to get outside of Facebook and YouTube, and we are. We're going to be working on a live streaming platform for Social Cross as well, but that's going to take 6 months or so to build because, well, it's huge and it takes a lot of work. So we're going to be doing that as well. So what these people have done is nothing more than strengthen our resolve to get these things done. Okay? So join us on socialcross.org if you haven't yet. The Apple app will be available tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know how fast they get it out there. ChristianJournal.net. If you haven't yet, download the app. Share the news articles on your social media platforms. It helps the ministry out. You know, we do have ads in there. If you don't like the ads, we ask $1.50 a month. That's it on ChristianJournal.net. If you can help us out that way, that'd be great. If not, at least just share the video. Just share the articles. On YouTube here, subscribe to our channel. You'll see on the bottom here below me. You see subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, but that's not enough. You have to hit the little bell next to it, the notification bell. And make sure you have 2 lines there because that gets all notifications. Okay? So you got to get notified. We've uploaded 2 videos yesterday and today of a Christian being assaulted and the LGBT person that did it arrested. 5 arrests on the LGBT side yesterday. You know how many Christians were arrested in Nashville yesterday? 0. 0 Christians arrested. 5 LGBT arrests and 1 citation yesterday at the Pride Festival. And the violence was on that side, not ours. We're going to keep exposing this stuff. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you get notified because we upload these videos, even the ones you may not want to see because you need to see them. You need to see what's going on out there so you can stand up against this. And again, anyway, thank you guys for those of you who have stood with us, those of you who continue to stand with us. We appreciate you all. We love you all very, very much. And if we can do anything for you, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are brothers and sisters in Christ, and when I say that, I mean it. All of us are here for one another. If you're hurting, we'll hurt with you. And we'll do everything in our power and use every tool at our disposal to help each and every one of our brothers and sisters in Christ. If you just message us, email us, send a text message to that prayer number right there, but make sure you put the message in after you put warrior prayer because otherwise I don't see them. If you want to help the ministry, again, it's ChristianJournal.net. Just share those articles. $1.50 a month, or you can donate through, WFCchurch.org/give. We're making that website too, you guys. That'll be up in the next couple weeks too, the new website on there. Or you can do a super chat thingy here whenever. All that stuff helps. It helps us travel. Like I said, we're going out to Washington, D.C. Tuesday morning. Dale and I are leaving for Washington, D.C. Wednesday. I'll stream what I can on that. Peter LaBarber, you guys will be there with him. It's going to be awesome. We're also looking to possibly get in to have a Bible study lunch at the Vice President's office. That will be amazing. And then we're going to go lobby on the Hill a little bit to talk to some senators about what's going on out there. We're going to show them the videos of the drag queens and the drag queen stories on our social media. We're going to show them the screenshots of all the hate that Christians have been getting on social media. All the censorship that's going on. We're going to show them all of it because we have it all documented. We have a binder. My wife has a binder of hate speech from LGBT people. 3 of them. This fat, I kid you not, of screenshots. We're going to bring them and show them all those videos on all of our channels. How YouTube has demonetized the Christian Journal YouTube channel. How they're demonetizing all of our videos on this channel here. Right? If you go through all the yellow, not suitable, not suitable. I really don't care. We're going to keep doing what we do anyway. But if you need help, I want you to reach out to us. And if you want to help our ministry, you can do so there. And look, the biggest thing you do, honestly, the biggest thing you can do to help our ministry is come out whenever we go out anywhere. Come out and stand there with us. We don't need, if you don't feel comfortable preaching yet, that's fine. But you should come out and see what's going on so you can see for yourself, with your own eyes, what these people are doing. Yeah, you can see it in a video, but it's not the same. Trust me, it is not the same. When you see a grown man spreading his legs in front of a group of children and parents cheering their children, cheering for the dragon with their children right there. It's not the same as seeing it in person. So thank you guys again. We appreciate it, guys. And again, we'll keep you updated as we go along, but I wanted to share this with you guys, let you know what's been going on. I want to let you know that, don't let things give up. Don't matter what happens in your life. When these things come in the air, when the fire arrows come, just put that shield up and you stand firm. You stand on the rock that is Jesus. And you will have victory. Don't let the world around you dictate what you say and do. Don't let the world get you down. As bad as it is out there, as bad as these people are, you cannot expect anything less from reprobates. You cannot expect anything less from God haters because they don't have truth in them. They don't know Jesus, so they have no peace. You can't expect somebody without God to act moral when they don't even know where morals come from. Don't let that stuff dissuade you. Don't let that stuff get you down. You keep moving forward and remember who you are. Remember who lives inside of you. The same power that resurrected Jesus from the grave lives in each and every one of us as Christians. Don't just keep it in there. Let the Holy Spirit use you. Let the Holy Spirit guide you. Let him comfort you and strengthen you. And you watch what happens. Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. Look for us Tuesday night, you guys. Dale and I will probably come on and do a video together. We're going to be staying in Washington, D.C., so, we're not going to, it'll be a little different here. We'll do the video on YouTube. Maybe we'll do a video together on Dale's Facebook, and I'll do it on YouTube so we can get it both going. But Tuesday night we'll be together in Washington, D.C. We'll let you guys know what's going on there. If you haven't liked Dale Walker's page yet, unfortunately his profile is 5,000 friends, but you can follow him. And he also has the Tennessee Pastors Network Facebook page. Go give him a like as well, because let me tell you something. He is the most active member of the American Pastors Network in the entire country. He comes out with us, he stands with us, and he's a very busy guy. Probably as busy as all of us. But he's willing to do the work, he's willing to call, he's willing to fight, he's willing to pray. And if you're one of the Greg Locke flunkies, one of the people that left his church after he beat and divorced his wife, if you're one of those people in your Middle Tennessee, he will be glad to have you. Okay? Just message him. Let him know, hey, you know what? You're looking for a church. Middle Tennessee there in that Sparta area there. Mount Juliet, whatever it is. Let him know. He'll be glad to have you. I've already talked to him about it. Let him know there's lots of you out there. Just send a message. Anyway, thank you guys again. We appreciate it. We love you guys. 10 o'clock p.m. Tuesday night Eastern Standard Time. If I'm a little late, it's because we're in Washington, D.C. But other than that, make sure you subscribe and make sure you get notified. Love you guys. God bless you guys. We'll see you guys Tuesday night.